Hello and welcome back to part 2 of our DFIR toolkit using Python. So for this part, we're going to add 5 things. We're going to add hash, permissions, the size of the file, the date that was modified, and the file category. So we're going to start very simple, and that is going to be with hashes. So we're going to import hashlib. And right after we check if we have received the file, which is in our if block, the first step is we need to open the file and read it. So args of the file, and we need to read this in binary. And then we need to store the data in a variable. So data is going to be f.read. And we're good. So now let's start with the hashes. So we have like hash 256 or MD5. So let's start with hash 256. So SHA-256 hash is going to be hashlib that SHA-256, and then we're going to pass our data. So what happens if we print this SHA-256 hash, this variable? So let's go to our terminal window and we're going to open this file. We need our flag and then our file. And you're going to see that our hash doesn't look like a hash. And the reason is because we have to make sure that we hex digest the file. Once we do that, when we run this file again, you're going to see the hash as we know it. So now that we have this, we're going to use fstrings and we're going to add a file that says the content of the file args.file has been hashed to SHA-256, and then we're going to call that variable. So let's save our work. We're going to clear the screen, call this again, and now you can see the hash. We can do the same for MD5. So hashlib.md5 data and then hex digest, and we are going to copy paste this because it is going to be the same message. So we only need to change the hash. We're going to run it, and now we have our 2 hashes. So step number 1, which is hashes, is done. The next one is going to be about the file size. And as you can see, it's quite simple. So file size. For this, we need to import OS. So import OS. And then we're going to type something like file size equals OS path and then get size and args file. As before, we're going to print with fstrings a message, the file size for the name of the file is file size bytes. So let's go and run this again. We're going to clear the screen, run this, and now you can see the file size. Next up, which one is it? Permissions. Let's do permissions now. Permissions. So for permissions, we need to import stat. So import stat And let's say file stat is going to be os stat, and then the name of the file. But that is going to give us a lot of information, and the only thing that we need is the permissions. So we're going to create another variable, and this is the part that I usually try to have something nearby to make sure that I do not forget what I'm doing, and that would be file stat, and I think it was mode. Yes, mode. So print with f strings again. You can see the pattern here. Permissions for our file. And it's going to be permissions. So we're going to clear the screen again. We're going to call our file, and you can see the permissions. Why do we need the permissions? Well, because if you have an image that also has an executable, that is not good. All right, so next up, we need to have the last time that this file was modified. So the last date modified or something like that. So for this, we need to import time, and we don't have it. So import time. Great. So let's see, mod time is going to be os path get time, and then we are going to call our file. So what happens if we print mod time? So let's run this, and you're going to see that this is our time, and that is computer time, and that is not what we need. We need human time. So for this, we have to make sure that we put all that time into a string. So we have to do the right formatting for this. So we're going to format this to the year, month, and date. And we also want to show the time that this was modified. So here's hour, minutes, and seconds. And then at the end, it's going to be time, local time, and then the file that has that computer time, which is mod time. Right, so we are going to print with f strings again the last time args file was modified, and then mod time string. All right, let's clear this, run this again, and now you can see the date. And so far, so good. Now, the last time we want to check what kind of file we are passing, right? Because we can have executables, we can have applications or PDF files or emails. So for this, we need to import the following MIME. So let's call this file category. And we are going to do this type info, and I'm going to explain this. So MIME, I missed something here, MIME types. There you go. So MIME types, guess type, and then the file. So let's see what happens when we run this. Now you can see that it is showing two values. And the one that we want to extract is text plain. So for that, what we are going to do is the following. We are going to say if MIME type info 0, because it's the first one, we're going to say MIME type is going to be MIME type info 0. If we don't see anything here, that's our else statement. MIME type is going to be unknown. So, as usual, we are going to clear this. We're going to run our program again. And I believe that I forgot to do our nice message. So let's go and do this. The file, args file is MIME type, right? Yes. So this is what we needed. Last but not least, we need to find the category for the file. So for this, I am going to copy paste something that I already have, because otherwise it would take a long time. But it is all this. And you can see everything here. So if the MIME type is a message with RFC 822, that means that the file category most likely is going to be an email, and you can see the rest. So at the end, what we are going to do is print f strings, our message, and we can say inferred file category, file category. So let's clear the screen, run the program again with our test.txt file. And now you can see everything that we can show from that file so far. And this is a pretty cool project to do. I'll see you later. Bye.